Hello guys, we have learned many concepts in the previous video. Among them, we have learned elasticity and load balancer, web servers, auto scaling, all the things. So let's have a quick recap session, or else you can say it as an interview session on elasticity, or else you can say quiz on elasticity. So let us have a simple quiz on this elasticity. Now, first question. If I request any website, if I request any website, if I request any website, then where my request will reach at first? Then where my request will reach at first. So where my request will reach at first? I hope you answered this question. The answer for this question is my request reaches to load balancer. So where my request reaches to load balancer. Then then after to where my request is sent from load balancer. So I hope you answered this question as well. After my request reaches to load balancer, from load balancer, where my request will be sent. I hope you answered this question. To where my request is sent? To web servers. To where? To web servers. So let's have another question. Question number 3. So which method does this load balancer will follow? Which method does this load balancer will follow while sending? When sending the request to web servers. So which method does this load balancer follow to send the requests to the web server? I hope you answered this question as well. Round robin method. Round robin method. So remember this round robin method. So let's have another question. You said this is a quiz on elasticity. So, sir, can you ask me some questions on elasticity? Yeah. What is elasticity? Let's start with question. What is this elasticity? I hope you answer this. Elasticity is nothing but scaling of resources. Elasticity is nothing but what? Scaling of resources. What are the examples, sir? Like servers in cloud. Now let's move on to another question. Question number 5. Now this question is, how do we perform this elasticity in AWS? How do we perform this elasticity in AWS? How do we perform this elasticity in AWS? We can perform this elasticity in AWS by using auto scaling. By using auto scaling. So I hope you answered this question. This is very important. We are going to do a practical lab on auto scaling. How do we provide the elasticity? That is nothing but how do we provide the high availability of our architecture? How to create this elastic architecture in cloud. We're going to implement this in future videos. So now let's move to another question. What is this auto scaling, sir? What is this auto scaling? So I hope you answered this question as well. Scale out, scale out and scale in of resources. Scale out and scale in of resources is nothing but what do we call? LS, auto scaling, right? Yeah. By using auto scaling, what we can perform in AWS, sir? We can able to perform elasticity in AWS. Now the question is, what is this scale out, sir? What is scale out? Scale out means what? Scale out is nothing but increasing. Increasing. So in AWS, whenever we want more servers, then what do? We just need to increase the number of servers. So at that moment of time, I need to scale out my servers. So can you tell me what is the scale in? So what is the scale in? Scale in is nothing but decreasing. Decreasing, or can I say it as reducing? Yeah. So I hope you answered these questions as well. So when do we use scaling, sir? Whenever, if I hosted multiple web servers, but my traffic is less, at that moment, what I need to do? I need to scale in my servers. That is, I need to remove my web servers, what are available, what are excessively available, those web servers I need to remove. So how to do this, sir? We are going to learn it in future videos. So now let's move on to next question. What are different types of scaling possibles? What are different types of scaling possible? What are different types of scalings possible, sir? Horizontal scaling, horizontal scaling, as well as vertical scaling. I hope you answered this question as well. So let's move on to next question. That is question number 10. Now the question is, what is this horizontal scaling, sir? What is this horizontal scaling? So what is this horizontal scaling, sir? I hope you answered this. Scaling happens. Scaling happens by increasing number of servers. Scaling happens by increasing number of servers. This is nothing but horizontal scaling. Let us move on to another question. So what is this vertical scaling? So what is this vertical scaling? This is also scaling only. But how does it happen, sir? It happens by increasing capacity. Scaling happens by increasing the capacity of server. How do we increase the capacity, sir? We just need to replace the existing. What are the existing server? That with a high capacity server. That's it. So we just need to replace our existing server with high capacity server to get high capacity server, and then only we can able to respond to multiple number of clients. Now let's move on to another question. Now the question, which question? 12th question. So let's Let's write it. 12th question. Now, what are the examples of capacity servers? So what we're going to implement it in cloud, right? What are the examples of capacity of server? Sir, you said we are just increasing our capacity of our server. Now the question is, what are the examples of capacities that we are going to use to increase my servers? So what are the capacities? You can say, I hope you answered this. CPU, that is nothing but one of the capacity of server. Okay. Next, can I say storage? Yeah, storage is also one of the capacity, and database is also one of the capacity of server, and multiple more. So these are some of the examples of capacity of my servers. Now let's move on to another question. Question 13. Among vertical scaling, we know two types of scalings, right? What are they? Vertical scaling as well as horizontal scaling. Among vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. Among vertical scaling and horizontal scaling, which provides high availability? Which provides which provides high availability? So which provides high availability? Horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling. Why, sir? Why this horizontal scaling is providing high availability compared to vertical scaling, sir? In horizontal scaling, we are not going to remove any servers, any existing servers. So all the time my servers are working only. So no downtime. So that means my servers are highly available in this horizontal scaling. Whereas coming to what happened to vertical scaling, sir? In vertical scaling, I need to replace my existing server with high capacity server. During the time period of replacing the existing server with high capacity server, what does it happens? Since I am removing my server, there is no server with my application hosted. Does my client able to access it? Arey yaar, no server, how do my client able to access it? So it leads to unavailability of my server. That means we can say it has downtime of my server, that during that time my server is not available. So that's why horizontal scaling is highly available. So let's move on to another question. For scaling for scaling my web servers for larger applications, for scaling my web servers for larger applications, which scaling is suitable for high availability? This is one of the AWS question, interview question as well. So for scaling my web servers for larger applications, which scaling is suitable for high availability? You can see there are two keywords, high availability and large applications. Whenever you found these two, then you need to prefer horizontal scaling. What you need to prefer? Horizontal scaling. I hope you answered this question as well. So let's have a final question. Question number 15. For for scaling, for scaling standalone, scaling standalone applications, or for scaling standalone applications are database servers which scaling is suitable for scaling standalone applications or database servers? Which scaling is suitable for me, sir? Since another question is in application server, in standalone application, we are going to maintain our application in a single server only. And in databases as well, we are going to maintain our whole data in a single server only. So in this case, particularly maintaining a single server case, which scaling is suitable, which scaling is preferred is a question. I hope you answered this question as well. So now the answer I'll provide you for this question is vertical scaling. Vertical scaling. So I hope you enjoyed this session and you learned what are the things that you don't know on elasticity. So I hope you completed this interview questions on elasticity. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.